I'm Nick.
And I'm Hunter.
And, start rolling those cameras. Bring mom and dad in. Because now we're talking about the Fablemans. Steven Spielberg's brand new movie.
You stop making movies, it'll break your mother's heart.
I don't know what to do anymore.
You do what your heart says you have to.
What was your favorite part?
Are mom and dad here? Are they here? All right, good. Okay.
Yeah, your camera's rolling?
Camera's rolling?
All right.
All right.
Action.
So, yeah. Steven Spielberg made a new movie. What a concept.
God, can't this guy just go away already?
I know. He's what is he? What is he, like making movies or something?
What is he, like one of the best directors of all time? Jesus.
What is he? One of our greatest American auteurs or something? After making West Side Story, his first and probably only movie musical, while that was like going on last year, he was also making this movie, The Fabelmans, which is an autobiographical movie about his time as a kid. You know, the beginning of his love of making movies, and his mom and dad's kind of emotional reaction to that, and kind of a secret that he was keeping for a lot of his childhood life. And so that's what kind of the movie's about. There's a lot of other things about the movie too, but that's the main gist. Yeah, he made this personal little movie, and it's getting a lot of awards buzz, a lot of Oscar buzz, and it'll probably get a lot of Oscar nominations. Hunter, what did you think of The Fablemans?
I love this movie. I really did. I didn't know what to. I mean, I didn't know what to expect when I went in. You know, because obviously, I mean, I've seen that HBO, like Spielberg documentary, like
me too. Yeah.
So many times. And
obviously the story about his father alone, and how, like, you know, the divorce shaped the way he made movies for a lot of his career. You know, obviously E.T. is famously known as, like, you know, him working through the divorce of his parents and everything, and because that's what happens in that movie too, with the kid in the movie, and a lot of his movies are kind of a reflection of his thoughts and feelings about his parents, about the divorce, about his childhood life, his relationship with his mother, his relationship with his father. So it's super fascinating that one of his new movies, where he's just like, no, I want to make this movie that's super personal to me. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no, and I loved it. And as like a kid of divorce too, I really resonated with it a lot. Like, I was usually, when I watch movies and like it's like a tearjerker or something gets me, like I'll shed like a tear, I'll tear up. This movie, I was fucking bawling. Like, I was crying during this movie. And I wasn't expecting to do that. Especially, like, I don't usually feel that way in Spielberg movies.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because usually a lot of people would say, like, Spielberg movies are, like, heartwarming and emotional.
Which, I mean, yes, they are, I guess. Yeah, they are. But, like, I resonated so much with it that, like... And again, like, I think, like, I saw on Twitter, like, this movie's, like, for the film bros, you know what I mean? Like, anybody that loves making art or loves making movies, like, you're going to resonate with this.
Yeah.
And you will, for sure.
You totally will, yeah.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, being a product of divorce, you'll even resonate with it, like, another step. And it's so interesting, somebody like Steven Spielberg, you wouldn't think... would, like, you could relate in any way.
Right,
you know,
because he's this huge Auteur, filmmaker, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's fucking Spielberg.
It's Spielberg.
Like, you know him by his last name. You know, like
Yeah.
it's literally insane. And his life or his growing up is so relatable to people. And I think that's actually really inspiring for him to show that, you know, and to be so vulnerable with that. Because it's like, oh, like, if he went through some of the same stuff that I did as a kid, then maybe, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I can amount to something.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, him just, like, making movies as a kid, and obviously it's, you know, very quaint stuff, but, like, you know, to him, it's everything. And I think that's beautiful. Like, you know, he's making movies with his siblings. He's making movies with his friends. All these little moments mean so much to him, and we're witnessing all of it. It's a movie about a lot of moments in a lot of ways. It's not about, like, this huge, like, this is a movie about him making his first movie, and that's his goal throughout the whole thing. Will he make the first movie? That's my goal. Like, it's just his life, you know? Like, it's just, like, there's not, like, a big conquering, like, oh, we have to get to here kind of plot thing. It's more just, like, about, you know, the little moments with the characters and, you know, with the actors and just, like, personal little autobiographical things about Steven Spielberg's life as a kid and his, once again, his love of filmmaking, you know, the birth of it. There are scenes and moments in here that are some of the best of the year. I think, like, there are moments that move me to tears, just like you, Hunter, like, that are so truthful and so personal about, you know, someone at a young age, you know, trying to about a young person, you know, struggling between their love of the arts. It's, you know, the mom says in the movie, played by Michelle Williams, you know, it's the scientists versus the artists, and that's true even to this day. You know, it's a very truthful statement about the world we live in. It's like, well, do you want to be secure? Do you want to, like, you know, have a, you know, be a businessman or be this or that and just, like, work to survive to provide for your family, or do you want to do what you love? And that's such an interesting struggle that Sammy Fabelman is going through in the movie because, you know, in a lot of ways, he's very, you know, I think justifiably and in a human way, like, kind of selfish. Like, no, I just want to make the movies I want to make. I don't care about, like, what my mom's doing. Like, here, I don't want to film something for my mom. I just want to make my movie, right? Mm-hmm. And I find that interesting where it's like, you know, where's the line between, you know, just doing what you love and doing something for your mom, for example. And I think, you know, I think that stuff really works. The stuff between, like, just the thematic stuff between the mom and the dad is really moving to me. Paul Dano is doing a great job, and Michelle Williams, very good. And there are scenes that are so good in this movie. When the Michelle Williams, when the, you know, Mommy Fableman's mom dies. and you know, that's also a very moving moment where it shows the contrast between the mom and dad, between the Fablemans, where, you know, Paul Dano is just looking at, you know, the machine, where, you know, it's like, well, she's dead. Cold, hard facts. Look at what's right in front of you. This is what's going on. Sorry, that's what it is. While her perspective is like, no, like, she opened her eyes and, you know, like, she was still, you know, something happened there emotionally and in a personal level where she was looking at her and like, little Sammy Fabelman was noticing, like, something with, like, her throat or something
yeah,
like, with her
the
neck.
Pulse.
Yeah, the pulse.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's such an interesting way about, like, scientists versus the artist. It's like, you know, like, obviously there's an interesting, you know, side to, like, you know, you obviously want to provide for your family. You want to be, like, you know, like, very factual and very, like, this is what it is. But also, like, from just a human level, like, look what happened there. Like, something amazing happened.
Yeah, dude, you hit the nail on the head right there. Yeah, the dad is looking at the screen and, like, the lifeline. She's looking at the eyes, and he's looking at almost like a mixture of the two, where it's like the pulse, yeah, that shows the lifeline, but it's like, oh, but it's like the skin and, like, but it's hers. You know what I mean? So, wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's a very intimate moment.
Ooh.
You know, where it's like something that clearly must have happened to him.
And I think the writer's name is Tony Kushner.
Yeah,
and
he also wrote West Side Story with Spielberg.
Yes, yeah. And they were talking about and the kid that played Sammy Fableman was like, did this really happen? Did this really happen? And Seth Rogen said this too, where he's like, at a certain point I stopped asking because Steven Spielberg would just say, yeah, it really happened. So that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's that's so vulnerable.
Yeah.
What's
so interesting about Spielberg dealing with the divorce, for example, of his mom and dad is I think that scene is so fucking good too, where the kids are crying and and it's look, we still love each other. Look, it's going to be okay. And obviously they're all devastated and Spielberg is just watching, right? And then there's that moment where you see in the mirror, he's imagining himself filming it. And that's so striking to me, where it's just he's thinking of filming this movie when the divorce is happening right in front of his eyes. It's kind of haunting.
That is such a relatable thing as an artist, because especially because when I make movies or when I act or something like that, I do, or when I am in an argument, I'll be oh, I'm gonna use this later. You know what I mean? It's
right.
This sick, disgusting thing that artists will do. Where oh, I can use this for I can call back to this when I need to cry or you know what I mean, or feel something. It's oh, that is fucking so toxic and gross, but it's true. And again, Spielberg does it in a way where it's so artfully done and does not overstay its welcome at all. It's literally just boom, a second, and if you blink, you might even miss it.
By the end, I'm crying when she's saying to him at the end, look, you got it. It's so good. I'm thinking about crying already, just thinking about it. But I love the moment when Michelle Williams says, "You do what your heart says you have to, because you don't owe anyone your life, not even me." And that's such a moving moment where it's yeah, you got to do what you love no matter what. Even if it means, in a way, letting go of your mom and forging your own path. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And also the kid that plays Sammy Fableman is incredible.
Yeah, he's very good too. Yeah. No, he's very effective. Very charming.
Movie.
Yeah,
leads that movie so well. That ending, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, I mean the whole scene with David Lynch. That's the fucking guy. Now get the fuck out of my office.
And that final shot when it just moves or whatever, dude, the whole theater heard me laugh. It just goes. It's it's so good.
It's so cute. It's such a genius way to end the movie. Yeah, what a great final shot. Spielberg still got it, baby. Mom and Dad. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching our Fablemans review on YouTube. Please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And our social links will also be down below. We also have a podcast where you can watch the full episode, NYC Actors Talk Film. So that's our podcast. And thank you guys so much for watching. Make movies. Sorry, Mom and Dad.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
Sorry, Mom and Dad. Bye.